what to see, what to stream, and what to skip. It's Movie Reviews with Ryan Jay.
Well, welcome back. Joining us now is nationally syndicated entertainment critic Ryan Jay. Ryan, I love your tie today. Well, thanks, Ryan. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, you probably could. But anyway, last weekend, Avatar: The Way of the Water made almost $500 million in the weekend, its opening weekend. And it's en route to make about $2 billion worldwide just to break even. But like every holiday week, there are a lot of new big movie options. So let's get right to what's opening today. Damien Chazelle does Babylon. His previous films, La La Land and Whiplash, were really big crowd pleasers. My expectations were extremely high for this film, and this one is not as great as the previous ones. It's kind of like a very long Great Gatsby meets Pulp Fiction. It's Chazelle trying to do Quentin Tarantino, but Chazelle is not Tarantino. And what I mean by that is it takes place in Hollywood during the 1920s. It's when movies were changing from silent to sound. There were a lot of problems, a lot of tragedies. The characters are made kind of comedic response to these tragedies that are happening. And it shows Hollywood's underbelly. Quentin Tarantino could have done that really, really well, but Chazelle, he's sort of out of his element there. I like Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie in it, but Diego Calva's a standout, as is Gene Smart, but none of them are very likable characters, and it just shows the underbelly of Hollywood, raunchy, debauchery, real lack of integrity. But with 3 hours, it's still a true epic, a lot of star power, and it's the kind of movie you would want to see in the theater because of all of its Oscar buzz. So see Babylon. It's one to check out. I wonder if you're going to check it out. I ended up screening it at home, but I think it would have been better in the theater. Anyway, the next film we're talking about today is Matilda the Musical. Now, this one was based on a book, which was a 1996 film, and then a Broadway show. I never saw the Broadway show, I didn't read the book, I don't remember the film. But I finally get to see the movie version, and I watched it with my friend Kelly Doherty, who was recently on The Morning Blend. She played Annie Wilkes in Milwaukee Chamber Theater's recent production. She also played Headmistress Trunchbull at First Stage in 2019, and so she watched with me so she could tell me some of the changes between stage to screen here, and she did a great job. This movie is phenomenal. It's my #2 favorite film of the year. Emma Thompson plays the role that Kelly did. She's a real villain, and I love the witty, funny lyrics. They're very complex. The tempo changes are very interesting and challenging. The color, the choreography, and there's a really cool concept about it. Sometimes it's okay to be a little bad in order to stand up for what's right. So that's something you could talk about with family there. It's the best Roald Dahl adaptation since Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Stream it. It's going to be on Netflix this Sunday, Christmas Day. All right, the next one is The Whale, which marks Brendan Fraser's comeback after kind of being blacklisted in Hollywood, and it's not his fault. That's a very tragic story. So we welcome him back, and I love all the Oscar buzz that he's getting for The Whale. This is written and directed by Darren Aronofsky. You know, he previously did Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan, and Mother, but this is not true to type. The Whale is very different than those movies. It's much more visceral. Brendan is phenomenal. There's a little bit of controversy in his casting because he plays a gay man and a 600-pound morbidly obese man, where there are more appropriate actors might have had that opportunity. It's adapted from a play. It moves really well, but the body prosthetics to make him 600 pounds when he actually weighed 300 at the time, I feel was not that believable, and that took me out of it for a while. It takes place during a 1 week in a man's life where he's dealing with both personal and professional issues. It's very emotional. There's a sense of urgency and making peace about that, but it's also kind of frustrating, not one you have to run out and see in the theater, especially when you could see Babylon or Avatar. So just wait to stream this one. All right, just next in theaters is one I was very excited about because I love this director, Cassie Lemons. It's Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Now, Cassie previously directed Harriet and Black Nativity, phenomenal movies. This movie is produced by Clive Davis and Pat Houston, that is Whitney's former manager and sister-in-law. She's played by Naomi Ackie, who also produced. She sings one song at the beginning of the film, and the rest of the music in the film is all Whitney Houston. It's uneven, though. The start is okay, mid's a little rocky, the ending's okay, but it really doesn't give you much about Whitney's personality. We know all these highlights from everything that happened in her life, from documentaries and from all of the tabloids that what she went through, but it doesn't explain what turned her to drugs, how she had these addiction problems. It's just suddenly they're there. They're all glazed over, and you see more of like career highlights as bullet points, as stepping stones. Really the best part of the movie was hearing the music in the theater. So I definitely think it's something that you could wait to stream in the theater, or wait to stream at home. Yes, and you know, Glass Onion, the Knives Out mystery, is also available today. I've reviewed that previously, and you can check out my review of that at my website. Enjoy that on Netflix starting today. And you know, I've got your back when you're trying to decide what to watch at home or in the cinema, so please follow me on social media at Ryan J Reviews. And for my full entertainment reviews, check out my website. It's ryanjreviews.com.